Have you ever wondered about the mysterious tree mentioned in the Quran that grows in the heart of hell? What is this tree, and why is it such a terrifying symbol in Islamic teachings? Today, we're diving into the reality of the Tree of Zaqqum, a concept that has sparked curiosity, fear, and deep reflection. Let's uncover its significance and the lessons it holds for us all. The Quran is filled with powerful imagery, some that brings hope and peace, and others that serve as warnings of consequences in the afterlife. One of the most terrifying and mysterious descriptions in the Quran is that of the Tree of Zaqqum, a tree that does not grow in the lush gardens of paradise, but instead deep within the depths of hellfire. Mentioned in multiple places in the Quran, this cursed tree is unlike anything we know in this world. Instead of bearing sweet, nourishing fruits, its fruit is described as resembling the heads of devils, something so disgusting and horrifying that no one would ever willingly eat it. And yet, those condemned to Jahannam will have no choice but to consume it, only for their torment to increase rather than subside. But what does this tree truly represent? Is it a literal creation in the afterlife, or is it a symbolic representation of divine punishment? More importantly, what lessons does it hold for us in this life? To fully understand the significance of the Tree of Zaqqum, we need to go beyond its frightening descriptions and uncover the deeper wisdom behind its existence in the Quran. The Tree of Zaqqum is one of the most mysterious and terrifying descriptions in the Quran, yet it is also widely misunderstood. Many people, when they first come across its mention, wonder, is this tree real? Is it a literal tree growing in hell, or is it just a metaphor? Some even question how a tree could exist in the midst of fire without being burned. These questions have led to various interpretations throughout Islamic history. Some scholars view the Zaqqum tree as a literal creation of Allah, existing exactly as described, growing from the depths of Jahannam. Others see it as a symbolic representation of ultimate suffering, a manifestation of the torment that awaits those who persist in disbelief and wrongdoing. Another common misconception is that the suffering described in connection to the Zaqqum tree is purely physical, when in reality, it represents both physical agony and spiritual regret. The people in hell will not just suffer from hunger, but will be forced to eat something that intensifies their suffering, a reminder of the choices they made in this life. Understanding the deeper meaning behind the Tree of Zaqqum allows us to grasp its true message, a severe warning and a call to reflect on our actions before it's too late. The Tree of Zaqqum is described in multiple places in the Quran, and each description adds to its horrifying nature. In Surah Al-Waqi'ah 56:52-54, Allah tells us that the dwellers of hell will have no choice but to eat from this cursed tree, filling their stomachs with it despite its unbearable nature. This alone is terrifying. Imagine being so desperate with hunger that even something as vile as zaqqum becomes a necessity. But the suffering does not end there. The Quran states that after eating it, they will be given boiling water to drink, intensifying their torment. The physical characteristics of the tree make it even more disturbing. In Surah As-Saffat 37:62-65, Allah describes its fruit as resembling the heads of devils, a visual that evokes fear and disgust. Scholars have debated whether this means the fruit is grotesque in shape or if it symbolizes the pure evil associated with it. Either way, the message is clear. It is not something anyone would want to consume. This description is not just about physical pain. It represents spiritual suffering. It reflects the torment of knowing that one's fate is sealed, with no escape from the consequences of past choices. So, what is the deeper lesson in the Tree of Zaqqum? It is not just a terrifying image meant to scare us. The Zaqqum tree serves as a powerful symbol, a warning of the consequences of disbelief, arrogance, and sin. It reminds us that the choices we make in this life matter. Ignoring Allah's guidance, rejecting His message, and living a life of oppression or corruption will ultimately lead to a painful and inescapable punishment. The fruit of the Zaqqum tree isn't just about physical suffering. It represents the spiritual decay of a person who has turned away from what is pure and good. It is a manifestation of the consequences of a life lived in denial of Allah's mercy and teachings. The tree, therefore, stands as a reminder that every action has a consequence, and that turning towards Allah with sincerity and repentance can spare us from such a fate. In this sense, the Zaqqum tree is a lesson about moral choices. It teaches us that we must always strive to make the right decisions, seek forgiveness, and be conscious of the afterlife. The tree doesn't just reflect divine punishment, it reflects divine justice. The Tree of Zaqqum is not just a terrifying element of the afterlife. It is a warning, a reminder, and a lesson for all of us. Its description in the Quran is meant to shake us, to make us reflect on the reality of divine justice, and to remind us that our choices in this life have consequences in the next. This tree is a symbol of the ultimate suffering that awaits those who turn away from Allah's guidance, those who live a life of arrogance, corruption, and disbelief. Its fruit, resembling the heads of devils, is not only physically unbearable, but represents the spiritual torment of those who rejected the truth. It is a punishment that fits the sin. Just as these individuals fed themselves with falsehood and evil in the dunya, they will be forced to consume the bitter fruits of their own actions in the akhirah. But this terrifying reality is not meant to paralyze us with fear. It is meant to wake us up. It is a call to turn back to Allah, to seek His mercy before it is too late. The question is, will we take this warning seriously while we still have time? The Tree of Zaqqum is a powerful reminder of the afterlife. But now the question is, what does it mean to you? How do you interpret its significance? Do you see it as a literal reality of hell? Or do you think it carries a deeper symbolic message about the consequences of our actions? I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let's start a discussion. Your insights might help someone else reflect more deeply on this topic. And if this video made you think, then you'll definitely want to check out my other videos on Quranic symbols and the lessons behind them. From the Bridge of Sirat to the people of the cave, there's so much wisdom in the Quran that can change the way we understand life, death, and the afterlife. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Because at the end of the day, knowledge is a blessing, and sharing it brings even more reward. Until next time, stay mindful, stay seeking, and may Allah guide us all to the straight path.